In losing her child, she found kindness to herself and others. Let's live out loud with Tess Muthoni next. Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Mwanyega and I'm so glad you found this channel. You made it, you really made it to this channel. So please click subscribe and hit notifications so you never miss an episode when we upload. And we are at the Waterfront Karen, East Africa's premier destination for lifestyle and retail. Do pop in and check out the local and international brands that now call the Waterfront Karen home. The Waterfront Karen, you've arrived. And we're all set to live out loud with a woman who's got a story to tell. Tess. Thank you so much for making the time to be here. I cannot begin to thank you enough. I know it's been, a long time in the making, but you know what's meant to be, it's going to be.
Thank you.
So asante sana for being here.
Thank you.
As we kick off this conversation, before we get to your life journey, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a counselor and a YouTuber or content creator, and I'm engaged.
Yay!
Yes.
We're going to the chapel and getting married. Please make sure you send the invitation. Otherwise,
I will. I'm a vibrant person, a sanguine, and I love people. I love making new friends. I love cooking. I love homemaking, and more, I love kids very much.
And I love that you've put kids on the table because part of your journey involves loss, and not just any loss. It's the loss of a child.
Yes.
So let's go back to the beginning with what you'd like to share with us.
I remember that day. It was it was just an amazing day for us. It was just a normal day. And so we woke up in the morning around 3 a.m., the usual time when babies cry. And there were bed bugs where we were sleeping. So I decided I cannot sleep because I love my child. So I'm not going to sleep because
you wouldn't do that to the baby. Yes.
So I decided to wake up and start folding and checking each and every one of her clothes. And I packed everything. I was at my mom's place. So we decided to leave the next day. So I didn't have sleep from 3 a.m. until the next day around 10 p.m. So we went to my place. We got to my place. I used to live in Rongai, and my mom left at around 11 p.m. She made sure that I had everything in place for it to be easier during the night when the baby wakes up. Yeah. So I could not sleep. I had abandoned that house for about 3 months. So it was really cold in that house because I used to just have a bed, and then I could see trails of snails, and I knew this house was really cold. So I just put her warm clothes, and then she slept. At 1 a.m., I was still making calls to my friends, asking them can I please take a cab and come to your place. I think this place is too cold and I cannot sleep. And I was so fatigued from the previous night because I had not slept.
You hadn't slept, yeah.
Yes. So my friend said, you just sleep for today, then tomorrow you can come to my place. And I said, okay, that's fine. Then I said a prayer. I didn't know I was actually sending my child back to the heavens. I just said a prayer and I said, God, please protect this child, protect us from pneumonia, and help us to make it tomorrow so that we can go to a conducive environment. Then I just blacked out. I woke up 30 minutes later and looking at my child, she had bled with her mouth and her nose, and she was gone. I was shocked. I was really shocked, but I had faith that she was not dead. So I tried to perform CPR on her, but I could feel that air coming out of her ears. And that was really, really traumatizing for me.
How old was she?
She was only 1 month, 1 day. Yeah. So I screamed for help, and the neighbors came and we ran to the hospital, and they confirmed that she had died a few minutes ago.
What happened next? Because you've just come home, you know that, you're looking forward to a new environment, and then suddenly the doctors are telling you she's gone. I'm still in disbelief right now.
Yeah.
How long did it take before the disbelief wore off for you?
I did not believe it at all. I did not believe it. I kept praying, thinking that she will just wake up. And the moment they said that she's gone and tried to cover her, I said, just don't cover her. But I really didn't want to see her because I knew I could not save her. Yeah. So I made calls at home, and my parents had to come back and come and pick me. And we went now to report to the police station, and then now we left to take the body to the mortuary.
That must have been one of the longest rides of your life.
Yeah,
it
was.
My heart is just breaking for you just listening to that. So you got there and left her at the mortuary?
Yes.
And then went back to your parents' house?
Yes.
The next morning, because I know you didn't sleep, again, was probably the second night of no sleep.
Now something happened, and I don't know why people do this. By they I mean my friends, they thought it was a really good solution to give me medicine that will calm my brain for me not to think too much and just to sleep. So I used to take a drug after my meal and I just black out. So I didn't have any dreams, which this slowed my process of believing that this child is dead. So I just blacked out. I didn't have any feelings for the longest time until after her burial.
Leading up to the burial and the final goodbye, that must have been the saddest day, because there's nothing as final as looking at that coffin and knowing that this nightmare really is a reality. It's not a dream, it's not a nightmare, it's not a passing cloud, it is what it is. What was the funeral like?
First we went to pick the body, but when we got there, they had not done a postmortem exam on her to understand what killed her. And so they kind of refused with the child. And I requested to see the one who was in charge of that, and I just told them, if you can bring her back to life, then I will allow you to do that postmortem. Just allow her to rest because it's now over. I really want to go and mourn her and just allow this baby to rest.
Yeah.
So the burial was not easy. It was, I honestly cannot even figure out what was happening, because it's like I was with a lot of people, and at the same time I was still alone in a dark place. So laying her body down to rest was really difficult, where I could not stand there. I could not imagine that there was a body inside that coffin.
Moving forward from there, you mentioned that friends were giving you, tablets to help you sleep, to give you some kind of relief so that, you can begin to move on. But how long did you keep taking the tablets, and when did you know I need to stop?
I took the tablets for 4 days until her burial.
Okay, then you stopped after the burial.
Then I stopped.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happened next after the burial?
After the burial, it was in December 22nd. So there was Christmas, so I was with people. Then in January, everyone just goes back to their own life. And I'm just left alone. I have to board a matatu alone. I have to go to the shop alone. Yeah. I had to sleep alone, So there was no one there at all. It was just like, now I'm dreaming. It wasn't normal for me because I was used to waking up and feeding the baby, changing her, cleaning her. That was my usual for a whole month.
So getting used to the new normal was a stretch.
Yes.
And you probably, how were you coping? What were you doing to try and make your life a little easier in that time?
In that time, I decided I would not maybe go to the world and try and numb my pain through drugs. I decided I'm going to face it. So it was difficult. I can't say really that there was anyone for me at that point. There was no support system. I tried to speak to people, but they would ask me not to speak about it and just allow her to rest, which I feel like that would have helped me more to heal. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happened next? Because, you know, when you're not really having support from people and you're going through a loss as big as this, something begins to happen to your mental state. So let's talk about that.
Of course, I was in denial for a long time. I didn't go to visit where I had buried the child for a very long time. I was in denial. And anytime I saw a child, I would just think, are they safe? Is their mother doing the right thing? How is that baby? Or I would just get weird dreams of my child, and I had to put a stop to that. So I decided to seek spiritual answers and understand why would this happen, and just ask God to really help me to heal from this, or accept that she's gone.
In looking at this turning point for you, were you now beginning to reach out to other people, or was it just first you and your maker and then you added people into the fold?
Yes, I began to reach out on, there's a friend whom I was told that they lost their child. So I decided to go and visit them, and we will talk about our babies and their behaviors, and then we cried together. So she was the first contact for me to actually share a similar story. Yeah, and I think that was really amazing for me to do at that point.
In looking at your journey so far, becoming a counselor, was that born out of your experience, or were you already a counselor to begin with?
No, I was not a counselor. I understand people. Emotionally, I'm very, very intelligent from what I've been told by my friends. And it just became an urge for me. I decided I wanted to go and see a counselor because of the loss, but I felt like it was too late for me to do that. So I needed to change myself before I can go out to the world to speak to people. So I decided to do counseling. And through counseling, I started healing and understanding the subconscious mind and understanding how to deal with grief and loss. Yeah.
Grief and loss, I remember a season that we had a couple of years ago, and there's a lovely lady, she's called Vivian, who also lost her baby girl. And, you know, we spoke and walked through the whole journey of her loss and her finding meaning and purpose in life again. And I look at you, and you're vibrant and you're young and lovely. Finding purpose and meaning after a loss so great. What is your new normal now? What is that purpose for you? What does that look like?
Wow, I love women. Women are beautiful. They're amazing. They can do 1 million things in a day, and they will still afford to smile. And so many people asked me, why are you always happy? You've lost a child. I don't expect this from you. But I just realized it's in me. I have whatever is inside here is what I give to the world. So I decided to help other ladies, not necessarily only on loss, but also new moms, and also just ladies with all their problems and shenanigans.
Yeah, no, we have a lot.
We have a lot.
Because we are the strongest ones.
Yeah.
So of course we have a lot.
Yes. So it became so natural when I help ladies.
Yeah.
And it felt, I just had some heart satisfaction about it. So when I just talk to someone and they tell me their problem, and I try and solve it or try and help them to find a solution, at the end of the day I feel like, wow, this is actually what you're meant to do. I felt like I'm really happy. I don't feel like they brought their problem to me, but how they shared it, and I came up with something or a solution for them, or help them and guide them how to go
navigate
about it.
that situation.
Yeah.
It makes you feel full because
Yes.
you are living and doing what you've been created to do.
Yes.
Now, earlier you mentioned that you do have a fiance, and I've got to ask if this fiance was the father of the baby, or if he's not, it's okay. You know, this life is as is. And do you dream of another baby? Is that something you will allow yourself?
Let's go back to the fiance.
Okay.
My fiance was, he's been the greatest support system,
Yeah.
because he just sat there and just listened to me mumbling and crying, and he just listened. And that's all I needed in my life before I could heal. But yes, I'm looking forward to getting another child. Who knows, maybe 2 years to come.
Or it could even be sooner. You never know. Yes. I am so rooting for you to have a little precious one, and to have that precious moment that you weren't allowed to have in the beginning, but it will happen.
Yes.
And I'm getting excited for you for when the day comes for that.
Thank you.
In looking at the experience that you've gone through, I know without doubt that there's somebody who's watching this, who knows someone who's going through something, or who's just gone through something, and they haven't reached out to anybody. And most times as women, before you can even reach out, you're trying to make sense on the inside, which means you're closing doors and you're not talking to anybody. What would you like to speak into their situation now?
It doesn't matter if it's your mother, your father, anyone you've lost in your life. Just be kind to yourself. Don't allow that situation to make you lose yourself. Don't allow it to control your future. Don't allow it to control who you're supposed to be here on earth. Yeah.
Kindness. I can hear your voice, but I could hear another voice as you're speaking. Being kind to yourself.
Yes.
You know, there's something incredible that's happened with this season, with everybody that I've spoken to. I've literally picked up a lesson. Everyone has taught me one thing. There's a lady who taught me about self-care and acceptance and about living unapologetically. And now you have said kindness. Be kind to yourself even when disaster has happened. And you don't even know what's happening, because you could have gone on with medicating. But being kind to yourself meant going through a very hard period and just feeling every emotion for what it was. And saying, now that I know, I'm going to help others. Kindness to self, kindness to others. I'm grateful for the time, and I'm so encouraged by your story.
Thank
I
you.
know somebody else will be. And are you online to help women who are trying to connect with you? And even men, you know, grief hits us all. You are willing to, you know, interact and help those who are seeking help.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic.
I'm online.
Okay, she's online, I'm online. I'll post her social media handles on all my social media platforms so you can get that help, so you know that you're not walking alone. This thing called life, we need to be kind to each other and to ourselves. Thank you so much for that lesson.
Thank you.
Even in loss, we're still learning as human beings. I tell you, this thing called life, it's epic. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Do leave us a comment and share this video with somebody who you think needs to see it. And if you haven't subscribed, and the way I sang at the beginning, seriously, today Shivi, can you click link that says subscribe and then hit that bell that says notifications, and then you catch up with our episodes every Monday. Once again, thank you for watching. We are at the Waterfront Karen, East Africa's premier destination for lifestyle and retail. We're looking forward to seeing you here for a great day out with friends and family. Until we catch up again, live out loud and be kind in everything you do. Bye.